I have with me Grandmaster Mel and Scorpio of Grandmaster Series 5. Welcome.
Hey. Hello.
How are you?
We good, real good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. What's been going on with you guys? Because I know you've been really busy.
Well, we've been doing a lot of touring and, doing a lot of shows. And recently, we just linked back up with the original Sugar Hill Gang. So we got some, international tours coming up as well as in the States. And myself and Mel, we just released our first single like in a couple of years. So, we're very excited about that. It's doing extremely well, overseas. We haven't officially released it in the States, but it's doing well overseas, and eventually we're going to bring it back to the States.
I live half my life in England, and I'm in touch with a lot of people over there, and I heard your song, Some Kind of Sorry.
Oh, yes.
I love it. I said, awesome song, and I love the rock, kind of rocky feel to it.
Right.
Yeah, because our whole thing is we're just trying to... Yeah, what we're trying to do, instead of just doing, your basic hip-hop music, we wanted to try to go for a more world kind of music kind of sound, just to show people that we have a different outlook and have a different goal as far as us, being in the hip-hop game and in the music game, that our goal is trying to set the bar a lot more higher than just making, your average, rap record. So that's why we took that route. And it's working for us, so we're happy we did it that way.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it reaches so many more people that way, too. I mean, hip-hop is loved all over the world, too. But, there are so many people that haven't yet tapped into that. And so what you're doing is you're just reaching so many more people this way, and I totally respect that.
Yeah, we having fun with it, too. You know what I mean? Like Mel said, our core audience is our core audience, and, we did that already. And so we just want to find the right medium where we don't alienate them, but then could bring along a whole new slew of people. And hopefully this record, Some Kind of Sorry, will be that record.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. A couple of weeks ago, I spoke with Curtis Blow, and he cited Grandmaster Mel as one of his influences. Can you both tell me who your influences are?
Well, to be honest, as far as hip-hop goes, the first main character that we was following and used to look up to was a DJ out of the Bronx called Kool Herc. And, he had some MCs called Timmy Center, Clark Kent, and Coco Rock. So, we would have to definitely say, them, far as our inspiration to want to do hip-hop. But before that, it was no other, so we would definitely have to say Kool Herc.
I understand. Because the goal of Radio Zero is to educate people on music history and facts and information, can you take us back to the early days of hip-hop and just paint the picture of what life was like back in those days?
Well, in the early days of hip-hop, it was more like, it wasn't what we would call hip-hop, but it was like Herc and them used to do jams. So it was, young people going to the jams, but it's like us getting into music and around that time, the area that we lived in the South Bronx and throughout the Bronx was very depressed, and it was like a lot of drug use and gang violence. So it was and it was really an oppressed area, and we use hip hop to be our normal. The whole thing of us going to jam, learning how to MC and hooking up with DJs and with y'all B-boys, that was something that brought a normal to otherwise it was really just not a future that had a lot of opportunity to it. But being that we were we made music, hip hop. So what became hip hop was we took that and we made it normal. We made us into normal people where before we didn't have a future, we didn't have real dreams. Hip hop became our dreams, our aspiration. It became our outlet. It became our expression, and like I said, it became our normal because it was almost like some third world shit going on, but it was a little better than that. But it definitely wasn't. It wasn't a future, but we made it. We turned it into a future for us, and we also made it be a future for a lot of other people, a whole lot of other people, and their future's a lot better than ours even right now. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, like I said, hip-hop became our normal. It became our future.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought that it would blow up all around the world? You know, you see the entire globe lives and breathes hip-hop. There's so many people coming together now in the name of hip-hop, and it all started with you, really.
Yeah, we feel very blessed, you know, just like Mel said, even though, you know, right now, you know, the Fortune 500 companies and everything caught up to hip-hop. So, you know, most of the rappers, a lot of artists is even probably, you know, living better than us. But, you know, what we actually brought to the table, you can't really put a price tag on it, you know what I mean? Because we made it a way when there was no way, when the only opportunity was, you know, for your parents to tell you go to school to be a doctor or a lawyer. So right now, I mean, you should definitely stay in school, you know what I mean? But hip-hop gave so many other brothers and sisters out, you know what I mean? And so we feel connected to that regardless. Even if they don't understand it, we truly understand it, that little seed that we planted in the South Bronx right now is a global phenomenon.
Sure is. It definitely is. What I like most about you guys is that you wrote songs that were addressing social issues way more than what you're hearing at the moment. Socially conscious, I guess, is the expression. You were saying something. Nowadays, it's really kind of, I'm not going to judge because there's a lot of danceability out there. There's a lot of people out there doing their own thing, being original, all of that. But what you did was bring fun to it, and as well as seriousness at the same time.
Yeah, well, see, our part of hip hop and our calling and the thing that we mostly did for hip hop, as well as for our community and for music in general, we were the change. We were the change agents. And even as far as hip hop, so we started out as one thing and we evolved it into something else. And even right now, you know, our whole thing is we're going to try to change it again. We're going to try to evolve into something else, because after 35 years of hip hop, it's not about, you know, making music for young people at all times. It's just, see, our whole thing is we just want to get back to the song. We want to get back to just making the right song for the right time to bring about a different element of hip hop and another type of change. So and like I said, that was what we did. You know, that was our gift to hip hop, and that's going to continue to be our gift. We're not the kind of musicians or MCs that would listen to somebody and then say, well, we want to do what they do. We want to find the next lane and get in that lane and then give other people an outlet and other people to get an understanding of what our hip hop is, and that's what we've always been, and that's what we are even to this day.
Essentially, you're still leading by example, and that's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I want to take you back just because it's something that I tend to ask everyone who's been in the business for a long time. Can you tell me the craziest thing that ever happened when you were doing a performance?
Wow. I mean, there's been so many crazy things, you know what I mean?
Right.
I really can't even think right off the bat about what's the craziest thing. Yes.
No, one of the craziest things that happened to me, I used to be able to do a split like James Brown really good. We played with the Sugar Hill Gang and Rick James. It was one of the biggest shows we ever did. 75,000 was the outside arena. And I did a split, and I was like too enthusiastic about the way I did the split, and I tore my hamstring. So to this day, I don't James Brown no more.
No.
My split it went splat, so I don't do James Brown no more.
No, not a good idea. Okay, so you're in the middle of a whole bunch of performances, is that correct? Have you been over to the UK yet?
Yeah, yes, we go to the UK quite frequently. You know, this year we haven't been there yet. We just came back from Helsinki and a couple of Switzerland, a couple of places like that, maybe around 3 weeks or a month ago. and we headed back over to the UK in May. At the end of May, like May 25th.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll be over there into June. You know, we got probably like a 12 or 13-day run. You know,
yeah, we're doing the official record release actually in Manchester in May, right? Boy?
Yes, it's in Manchester, May 28th at the Living Room. We will definitely. That's when we officially release our record. You know, and we're very excited about it. You know, the whole UK is kind of buzzing right now, and so we just. You know, like I say, we're in a good space. You know, it's hard to get us mad about things right now. You know what I mean?
Are you still accepting bookings?
Oh yes, I mean bookings. That's our blood. You know what I mean? That's what most entertainers like to do. You know, to get out there and express yourself and express your music and make that direct connection. So we always taking bookings and stuff. You know, we love that part, so we just trying to use this record to take us to the next step, you know what I mean? You know, we're trying to get into some physical fitness, Mel, as you can see, he's in it a little more than me, but, we're trying to do some things, you know what I mean, because he got some ideas where he want to do some gym stuff, so we're going to really try to open it up because hip-hop is so open right now, it'll be... You're doing yourself a disservice just to stay just in the music. You know what I mean? Because it's the world music right now. So,
it is. Where can they contact you to book you?
Well, I mean, most of the time they just book us, at our email, or, if the promoters don't know it's a recipe, and that will be at, like, Sirius 5, like the name of our group, number 5 at Comcast.net. Most of the times, they, send out their requests. They send it to Mel, and we get it from all over the place, but a lot of times for the people that don't know, you have to send it to Sirius 5 at Comcast.net.